it anywhere in any school. We only have success schools, but how come we have many failures? Because it's what? It's natural to fail. But to succeed, you're going to have to learn it. Are you together? Failing is natural. To be negative, to be hopeless, to be despondent is the natural disposition of the mind. To think you are nobody is natural. To think you're not beautiful is what? Natural. Are you together? You've got to convince yourself, decide that I'm beautiful, I'm able, I'm capable, I'm endowed, I'm blessed, and I can do it. And those thoughts are gentle. They are what? Gentle. And fragile. They've got to be sustained. Because these are very corrosive. These ones are very corrosive. And this battle happens in our privacy of our mind. Nobody sees it. Eh? Some people are so negative that even when they dress so well, they feel so inferior. You tell somebody you're smart, stop joking with me. why are you trying to enjoy me? But nobody's accusing you. What's accusing you? Is your what? The biggest resource you have is the protection of your what? Mindset. Because it attacks you from within. Are you together? I know how many of us are even doubting our intelligence. Yet you are intelligent. Are you together? Yet you are capable. But somehow this dark force here is so powerful and many people succumb to it. But this is very powerful too. If you take care of it, it can sustain you. I've come where I've come today by reading on this side. Is it because I can't be negative? Oh yeah, negative. But I consciously appreciate it and begin to mystify it. Are we together? Huh? This is the part we have to go through here. Constantly, it's called mental hygiene. Mental what? Hygiene. The way you wake up in the morning and do what you call oral hygiene, brush your teeth so you don't have a stinking breath. Okay? You also put a roll on there to take off the he-goat smell. You know the he-goat thing? You take care of it. You are doing body hygiene. Right together? Because you have to be presentable. If you don't do that, you'll be surprised how you look. In the same way, you deliberately and consistently and strategically do what we call mental what? Hygiene. Remove every toxic, corrosive, negative, disempowering thought that hits your mind. It's a big discipline. It's not easy. It's not what? Easy. That is why we have many failures and few successes. Because it's an uphill task. It's not natural. You may think getting a degree will make you all of a sudden become confident. You'll be surprised. So many people have PhDs and they don't even believe in who they are. Where did you go to school? If somebody went to a very big college, even has a PhD, but doesn't believe in who they are because of their what? This is one thing education doesn't address. Because they will give you information, but this is going to be your personal journey. Why is this important? Because if you look at life the way it is today, everything you see today, realistically, is a result of somebody's thinking. True or not true? This house here, before it existed here right now, it was in somebody's mind. He or she saw it, talked about it, and acted, made it possible, and gave him the picture of the house before it was built. He gave this the artistic impression of your house you're dreaming. You're talking about a dream being made real. Are you together? Once the picture was seen, he put down resources and he got people now to begin working. But people were working in the context of the what? Of the dream. And today you have this infrastructure. Are we together? Okay? All the clothes you're wearing, they're not when you're clothing. Somebody determined the color. It's not your color. It's not true. You're only a consumer. It's not true. Your hairstyle is not even yours. It's somebody's idea. Somebody thought that hair can be made this way. So when you go to this one and say, I want that one. Are you together? So thoughts are very important. They're very powerful because they become real. Whatever you see existing today has been a thought along the way. Okay? Because those create ideas, and ideas become philosophies, and philosophies govern the world. That's the power of ideas. Now, your thoughts are going to determine your words. The way people talk is a sheer reflection of their thinking process. You cannot think trash and talk sense. Alright? Are you together? If you go back here, you can't love and hate at the same time. You either love or hate. You can't sleep and wake up. You can't enter without getting out. So in the same way, our words here reflect our thinking. You can't be thinking negative, you are nobody, you are hopeless, you are useless, you are a biological accident, and then you talk anything different. So if you think you are, the words you speak, and I want to be cautious to you, reflect your what? Your thinking. If you think possibilities, there's a way out, I can do it, I'm capable, you are usually going to find yourself talking very positively. So, don't you be caught speaking some corrosive negative words about yourself. You know I'm nobody. You know I'm a biological accident. Those words don't make you better. You are eliciting sympathy to your own detriment and destruction. Are you together? Because you are confessing. Words are powerful. If you go to court, there's something they say, taking an oath. The question is, why should they take an oath? I know I mean well, but they insist that you must verbally do what? Say it. Some of you, at one point, you go to church to get married. It doesn't matter how much you love that man. They will tell us that you love the person. Make a vow, verbally. They insist on what? Confession, because you cannot confess. There's something about confession binds. So these words, as we speak, they are very powerful. So if you're going to speak what? Positively. Speak possibilities. I can do it. I'm capable. I'm able. There's a way out. I'll succeed. I'm capable. The more you speak that about yourself, the more you validate. Because what happens is that words consolidate thoughts, and thoughts consolidate what? Words. Then your words really, when you speak about something too often, chances are you'll act. You'll do what? Every action comes from some confession somewhere. And some of you are part of the word because of the words you spoke. You used to speak yourself that I'll do it and I'll find a way. You took action because of the words you've spoken. And I believe most of you went for the interview very optimistic. I know I'll be chosen. True, not true? And that optimism became what? Reality. Okay? Now, these actions, before we act, remember we've thought about something, we've talked about it, and then we act. When you begin acting in a particular way over and over, chances are it becomes your behavior. It becomes your what? Behavior. What we call behavior is many actions put together. Okay? And your behavior may lead to what we call habits. Okay? Now, once you have habits, habits become what we call character. You heard about character? Eh? Now, do you know where character comes from? Character. Now, your character is going to determine what you call destiny. Now, if you're mathematically bit, ask yourself, what's the square root of destiny? No? Go back. It is what? This destiny is a consequence. Is a what? Now, from the thought process, these are what we call consequences. People call them results. Consequences. Now, what I want you to remember in this conference as you go back is that life has consequences. Are you together? Every word we speak, every act we engage in has consequences. And this can vary, can be short term, can be medium term, and can be what? Long term. And some of them can be extremely permanent. Can be what? Permanent. Now what happens, as human beings, we have this amazing capacity to think, to have thoughts. Now we are told, or rather it has been proven, the only choice we have, the true right you have, is a choice to choose your thoughts. Are you together? That is your God-given, fundamental, divine choice. You choose your thoughts. The moment you choose your thoughts, you are also free to speak what you want. Are you together? You're also free to act. But the moment you act, your rights are expunged, and the law of cause and effect takes over. You have no control over the consequences of your what? Actions. That's how tough life can become sometimes. To choose to act where you want is your fundamental choice. But the chances are you can never control the consequences of your what? Correct. Like right now I can choose to go and be hit by a car. That's my choice. But how the car will hit me, I have no control. Whether I'll die or not, I have no control. Are you together? Whether I'll break my legs fast or my head fast, I have no what? That's why you have to be conscientious and strategic. Before we act, look ahead. What are the consequences of my actions? These are things I wish I knew as a kid. Because today they are defining my behavior. You are strategically looking ahead and seeing the possible. It may not be very accurate, but the possibility of envisioning some consequences is enough to modify behavior. Enough to do what? So, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be conscious of your deliberate day-to-day engagement. Because some decisions are irreversible. You make them, you must learn to live with the consequences of those decisions forever. You can't eliminate them, you only have to live with them. Are you together? So, what has now shifting your mind does? Shifting your mind will tell you now, here is where now you begin looking at your problems now, which you created from a positive angle. Alright? Somebody said, if we knew better, we'll do better. But now we are getting to know as leaders that this law of, it's called the iron law of life, the iron law, you can't change it. There's something you find along there, it's called principles. They're called principles. They're called what? Principles. I'll give you a very good example. I wasn't very good with figures. Now, some crazy fella in Greece said, this came up with a formula called pi r square. And then he said this means 22 over what? 7. Or 3 point what? 1. Whether you like this guy or not, you must obey this formula to get the results you want to get. You will never get the area of a square without obeying that formula. Are you together? Because it's a what? It's a principle. You can't tell the teacher you make me stucky and I don't even like the guy in the first place. I won't do it. You do that, you not get that mark. Because this is a laid down principle. You and I, whether we know the person behind it, whether you believe in it or not, we must obey the principle of this to get what? The results. In the same way, life has principles. Life has what? Principles. Principles we cannot change. We cannot break, but we can work with. One of the principles which is very famous is called the principle of what? Gravity. You know about gravity? Yes. Gravity dictates whatever goes up must do what? Come down. Whether you like gravity or not, it doesn't matter. Does it matter? You can't say gravity, I don't like you, I don't even respect you. It doesn't. Gravity says whatever goes up must do what? Come down. So because you are claiming ignorance, you go at the KCC 23rd floor and say because I don't care about gravity, I want to jump down. You successfully crash. Are you together? Because the principle is what? Cannot be violated. There's another principle called the principle of flotation, which is called Archimedes' principle. Archimedes what? Which says what? A body must replace its own weight to do what? Now when you go to Mombasa, there's some crazy things happening there. There's a place called the Clinton Harbour. It's the deepest point in the ocean around that place. You're going to find massive ships carrying tons of weight, gliding on the water gently as if nothing's happening. You who is only 60 kilos, you go there, you sink. Is it fair? No. Think about it. Is it fair? How can a massive, heavy ship laden with tons of weight and cargo, gliding gently as if nothing's happening? You try it and with your small weight, you go under. It's because of what? Principles of what? Flotation. If you go there and obey Archimedes' principle, chances are you float. But if you go there with your arrogance and say I must float, you do what? What am I saying? These principles bind us. Are you together? They do what? We either obey them and work with what? Work with them. So, are you